Hey everybody, it's your boy Pee-wee back with another video. Sorry it's a little bright in here. I'm actually recording a video during the day for once. Today we're going to be talking about a new manga. It is a manga, it is a colored manga. And honestly, it's a little different than how you would expect a manga to be. Basically, a quick synopsis is there are these corrupt. Whoa, sorry, I did not mean to pull that up. That's the end of the chapter. Anyhow, so basically, the story starts off with our main character here, and he arrives at this village. If you can pull up here, it's Earth. We can see there's these monsters, basically trying to kill this human, and after a little bit, the person dies, and basically we are said to our main character was too late, and basically he has to accept that humanity is basically gone. About 99% of the population has been wiped out by these corruptors. They're essentially monsters created from like the pollution of humans. Basically like human waste. Just destroying the environment over time and polluting everything, which led to these monsters being created. Our main character is basically he's really strong. Basically he's trying to save the human race from these monsters. And in doing so, we find out that apparently the people that he works with, have created these like nano machines. They're kind of different than the actual nano machine comic. These nano machines basically restore the environment, restore basically, turn the corruptors from these corrupted beings into normal. Basically, gets rid of their regenerative ability so they can be killed. They're not these like unkillable monsters. And eventually, it regrows the planet, and our main character says there will be a civilization thriving just like humanity once did. And so, in order to basically wait for that time period, he decides to go in this cold sleep, betting that in the future there will be a time where humans, or at least beings, survive in this world, and it's not completely overran by these monsters. So he goes into this cold, deep sleep for 5,000, 8,000, 17,000, 100,000, million, basically until we hit, what is this? 1,000, 10,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million, a billion years later, where he basically uh, there's these like kids who are running from this monster. So obviously the monster still exists. However, they're not like humans, so to say. As you can see, they have like beast-like features and they're like beastmen. However, they stumble upon him in this where he was put into sleep, and he wakes up killing this monster. And he wakes up and he says, "We were right to believe that in the future there actually was a possibility of the future." Uh, so that's pretty much the storyline. Our main character wakes up after 100 million years. I don't know why it says 100 million years when like the comic was like a billion, unless I just counted wrong. But it's called 100 million years later. The Ultimate Weapon returns, or I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this, but it is a colored manga. Basically, I assume it's kind of like a power fantasy where our MC wakes up all these years later to once again try and save humanity from these monsters. I did see a comment on here that pretty much sums up how this basically seems to read. So it's a manga, however, the art does seem Korean. The pacing is slightly Western, meaning it is slow. Like it does really have a slow pacing. However, it also writes like a manga, like a courting death manhwa, where like the humans are weak, our main character is strong, and he basically just overpowers everything, and basically courting death. Like anybody who messes with him, well, you know, that's basically how the writing of this seems to go. Now, obviously, I haven't read all the chapters that are out. I've only read a few. So, as for how the story is going to proceed in the future, I don't really know. However, I will say it does seem promising just from the few chapters I have read. It's definitely unique. When you think of a manga, you don't really think of how this is written, or basically this type of storyline. However, it is like slightly refreshing to have something different. And so, honestly, I found myself enjoying the chapters that I read, and I am looking forward to more chapters as this continues to come out. But if you like a manga that is basically has like rights and not rights, but like is like drawn and kind of like a Korean comic, but also has like a manhwa-ish plot, then you would definitely like this one. At least I think you would because I found myself liking it more than I thought I would. And I think it does have promise. I think it has potential, and I'm really looking forward to more chapters of this in the future. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. If you guys like these reviews or new comic, release first impression type things, please do subscribe. Please keep coming back. I wish to grow this channel so I can keep doing these and basically just turn my channel into a place where fellow comic lovers like myself can basically have a community and a outlet to basically just talk about all the comics they wish to talk about, and we can just share in our love for these comics. Anyhow, that'll be it for this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.